Hello, I'm Jim, and welcome to Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast. This podcast is an exploration of a rich history, the stories and memories of those who made and make Rallying in America so great. Enjoy the show. My guest this week is Dan Shirley of Weasel Racing. We talk about the origin of his team's name, the Weasel's build, his co-driver Eric, his epic trip to this year's Boone Forest Rally, and more. Thanks for taking some time out of your afternoon and coming on.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Now, you're with Weasel Racing, and how'd you get the name Weasel?
So the Weasel comes from the fact that I had ferrets for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
My rallycross car was named after 2 ferrets ago, and then the rally car is actually named after the most recent ferret that passed away,
Sorry.
Sammy. Oh, no, it's not a problem, but we took the inspiration from the weasels because it's an animal that you don't really take very seriously because of how small and adorable they are, but they're actually brutally ruthless animals. They're very fast. They're very dangerous. They eat just about anything.
Wow.
We figured, this is a good animal for a mascot for a race car, one that's kind of silly looking and slow.
So I remember seeing the car for the first time back in 2022, I think, at SCPR.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the build and your connection with the Nonax?
Yeah, so the car really started to come together after I was crewing for the Nonax. I crewed for them in 2021, I think, at STPR and at New England Forest Rally. And after kind of getting a chance to see how the rally went from their perspective, and knowing that I lived so close to Chris and Sarah, they really kind of gave me that last little push to say, it is achievable. It's something you can do. You just got to get started and kind of just get into it. So after I crewed for them at New England, before the STPR race that year in 2021, I told them I'm going to race New England the following year, 2022. I was going to try to acquire and build the car in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was a push. It took, I think, just under 9 months, because at the same time my wife was building our child. And I just beat him to the finish line. The car was ready just before he was born, and I literally went to New England when he was 2 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What does he think of the car?
Oh, he loves it.
I bet.
The race car is just this thing that he gets to sit in and he gets to ride in sometimes. His car seat fits really well into the co-driver seat, so he gets to drive around in it sometimes. But he absolutely loves the race car. It's like a part of the family to him.
Right. Well, I just recently spoke with the Nonax, and they said that they kind of have a trend where people come and help crew for them, help them out, and then they're gone and starting their own car, building their own car, or starting their own team. So,
yeah, for sure.
Pretty interesting. So, let's talk about your co-driver, Eric. How long has he been with you?
Eric has ridden with me for, I think, 5 or 6 rallies at this point. It might be 5 with me.
Okay.
And he started at New England the last time New England was run in 2023. And he's a guy that I met doing rallycross, because I did rallycross for years leading up to actually jumping into rally. And he runs down in the DC region. A bunch of really, really amazing drivers down there. Eric is one of the teams that's running an older E30.
Okay.
Very fast guy, was routinely outrunning me back then, when I was still racing down there. And some of his friends, when I was looking for a co-driver for that New England race, just kind of threw his name out there. I had met him before. I didn't know him very well, but they were saying, this guy's really looking to do this. He needs some way to get into the sport.
Nice.
And from what I knew, he was a nice enough guy, and it seemed like it would be a riot to have a southern guy with a southern drawl in the car calling notes. And it turns out it's a good match. It's a good time.
Yeah,
Eric's a
good.
great dude.
Yeah, so let's talk about you've done how many rallies this year? I know you've done STPR and Boone. Have you done any others?
Yeah, I did Snowdrift this year as well, so 3 so far, and then LSPR is next. That's going to be the last one for the year.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so I know you don't have like a transport vehicle or a trailer. So are you going to be driving the car to LSPR?
No, that was kind of a one-off. Normally, I rent a truck and a trailer. But for Boone this year, I wasn't planning on going to that. Like, that was my 4th rally, basically. I wanted to go to it because it seemed like it was a really good time.
Yeah.
I also was in a decent spot in the championship, and I thought if there was going to be a year where I might get a shot at going for a championship on the East Coast, I might as well.
Gotcha.
So I skipped the truck rental and the trailer rental, which would have been like an extra $1,000 or something.
Oh, yeah.
And just drove the car to Boone. But for LSPR, that's a 16-hour drive. I'm definitely going to tow the car there. Yeah.
So, well, since we're on the topic of Boone, let's talk about your trip. I remember passing you in the Weasel somewhere in West Virginia. So tell us about that trip down.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the key to doing it was not driving on the racing suspension. I switched it over to its factory suspension, which is really, really soft for as much as equipment as I had in the car. But that way, it's just not beating me up the entire time. The Weasel in particular, though, it's like I do have air conditioning in the car.
Nice.
The weather was pretty decent, but it does get like baking hot. The tunnel gets really, really hot, like even to the touch.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
once you get kind of into a rhythm with it, though, it's like the AC's going full blast. The suspension's not too bad. I'm listening to the Expanse audiobook the entire way to try to drown out some of the noise. And you get in the flow, and you can cover a lot of distance. I think it was over 650 miles one way. And
That's
you just get in a groove.
And that's about what, 11 and a half hours for you?
Yeah,
From
I think
outside
it was
of
right
Philly?
around, just north of Philly. I think it was a total just about 12 with stops and everything. And on the way home, it was 11. Yeah.
Now, when you got there, you got your racing suspension back on. And then did you immediately go and try to do recce, or did you wait for Friday morning? Because Boone's kind of unique where they have 3 park exposés, and the racing really doesn't start until the afternoon of each day. So how did you handle recce?
Yeah, so recce we did on Friday and Saturday mornings. The other thing about Boone is they don't give you, up until this point at least, they have not done Gemba notes, which means they're not giving you that computer-generated notebook. I've been using that all the way up, like all 11 races I've done before this one. I've just used the Gemba, and we've marked differences that we have with the notes or whatever. But this time, going into Boone, it's a relatively short rally, so I figured if I'm going to need to learn how to write my own notes, I might as well learn here. So we were very rushed to learn how to write notes together. Eric has done it one time before this, which gave him some experience, at least writing out what he wants to say or how he wants to write it. But I needed to learn very quickly how to do it in the morning and then literally race on those notes in the afternoon for the first time, which honestly, it wasn't too bad. All the races leading up to this with Gemba, like I got very used to what I want to hear or what I think something is. So once we got used to just, I now need to talk the entire time, instead of just listening to Eric read the notes both runs, it wasn't too bad.
Okay, good. So how did you ultimately finish at Boone?
Um, I think Boone is an interesting rally because there are some really, really fast competitors going to that event, like
Yeah.
national teams and things.
Yeah.
So for a regional event, it was a little weird for us. I think I was overall, I think 15th or something finishing,
Mm-hmm.
out of almost 30 cars. But
Yeah.
in our class, we came in third,
Nice.
mainly because of attrition. There was a lot of
Okay.
issues going on in the pack and things, and like we were exhausted and knew that we needed to drive the car home, so we weren't going to
Yeah.
push too hard at that event. But overall, honestly, very happy with that finish. To get
Mm-hmm.
on the podium after everything we went through to get there,
Yeah.
and compete in like under 2 weeks, we decided to go and compete at that rally. Um, very happy with the finish, and honestly, finally getting another chance, getting Eric on the podium.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a sore spot for us because the first race he did with me, there were no podiums, because of the unfortunate events that happened at New England.
Right.
And it was almost like a curse. I just couldn't get Eric on the podium, and all my other co-drivers had been. And then
Mm-hmm.
finally, STPR this year, we got on the podium together, and then right away at Boone, we got back up there again together. So it was overall, Boone was a really good race. It's a really fun place to race. The environment's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely an interesting trip, exhausting but really rewarding.
Now, what do you think of the roads there in Kentucky?
Yeah, the roads are a riot. I mean, it's such a it's such a strange type of event because like we're so used to racing out in the woods and you don't see that much. Like every once in a while you'll see a house or something.
Mm-hmm.
But at Boone, it's like we're literally racing through people's backyards.
Yeah.
Um, and the roads themselves are definitely really fun, but then this added atmosphere of like there's houses everywhere. There's people just like randomly throughout the entire stage.
Yeah.
And we're doing a jump like past somebody's garage. You're like, this is just it's a wild event. And then the little things like the tunnel under the train tracks that they
Yeah.
had,
Right.
the water crossing, it it just it's a different feel to that rally for sure. The roads are definitely really fun,
Yeah.
but then just being there, Kentucky is just a different feel to everything else I've done on the East Coast.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. I'm surprised some of the drivers didn't take out a few mailboxes. I mean, because they were right on the edge of the road, and most of the roads there don't have any shoulders.
I think somebody got one. I
Oh,
heard.
oh
I'm not
okay.
sure where that mailbox was. I think
Okay.
it was on one of the Friday stages, but somebody said the mailbox was gone, so I think we got one.
Okay. I'm kind of not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of go in reverse chronological order here. So you did STPR back in July. How did that go for you?
STPR this year, it was a good event. It was an amazing event from the perspective of how fast everyone had picked up the pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also a little tricky because I had to learn some lessons about going on to smaller tires.
Oh,
I
okay.
think in retrospect, my car and how heavy it is, I was only thinking about how little power it had. So I thought, let me get some smaller tires on this thing. They'll weigh a little less. I should be able to accelerate a bit better. Turns out the main issue I was having with my car is I was just not in good alignment at all. And
Oh,
then when I
okay.
switched to these smaller tires, it really slowed me down. It was a very strange thing to describe too.
Mm-hmm.
I think something similar happened to Chris actually, Chris Nonak at Boone, where driving wise, I feel like a hero. Like I'm sliding, I'm using the entire road. I feel like I am
Right.
literally at the limit. But then we look at the times and we're like, we're just way off pace. Like compared to last
Okay.
year, I had actually outrun myself on a longer stage. Like I think it's like 14 miles
Mm-hmm.
in the rain, in the pouring rain. I did it like 10 seconds faster last year than I could this year in the dry.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
So we definitely had some technical issues with the car and sorted a lot of that out for Boone before I hit the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and bent some things. But by the time we got to Boone, the car was finally feeling stable again. It felt like it had on the bigger tires last year at STPR and at races before this one.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, STPR, it was good. We got on the podium. I think we came in. Oh yeah, we came in second place in NA four-wheel drive.
Nice.
Um, but it was just a challenge because it was like I was so much faster last year and I didn't know
Yeah.
what was wrong. And it took a little bit after STPR to realize, oh, my car is just all out of whack. The wheels are aimed every which direction, and that what was
Okay.
leading to my issues. Yeah.
Gotcha. We'll be right back. Power up your ride. Daily driver, bike, or track beast with Melee Design Firm. Since 2018, Melee has been the go-to source for high-performance battery mounts and power solutions trusted by enthusiasts and professionals alike. Whether you're carving corners on the weekend, commuting to work, or chasing podiums, they have the gear to keep you powered and ready. Their lightweight universal battery mounts are engineered for performance, crafted with precision, and designed to handle whatever you throw their way. They don't just make and sell parts, they build confidence under the hood. Rugged, industrial, functional. That's the Melee difference. Join thousands of satisfied drivers who refuse to settle for stock. Upgrade your battery game today. Now back to the show. All right, so then going to the first event of the year, Snowdrift. How did that go? And I'm assuming Eric was with you for all three of these.
No, so Eric was at STPR. At
Okay.
Snowdrift, I actually had my normal crew chief, Sterling Fazio, with me.
Oh, okay.
And actually, to be honest with you, I've never heard Sterling say his last name, so I think it's Fazio. Maybe it's Fazio.
Okay.
I had the same problem with Eric for a while there, too. I was like, Eric Eisel? And it's actually Eric Isley.
Right.
It took me a few rallies to learn actually that was his real
Well,
last
it's
name.
got that odd extra E in it, kind of. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Threw
right?
me
You're
off,
like
too.
Eisel? Nah, Isley. Um, no, so Snowdrift was another round of my own incompetence getting the better of me. We had a good race, but the entire event I actually didn't realize until about a month after the race was over. I was racing on my gravel suspension, which is tricky because you want softer suspension on the snow when it's really loose like that, and it was a
Oh,
really good
okay.
year. The snow was excellent this year, great conditions, but I had done something goofy when I rebuilt my suspension before Snowdrift. I put it back together. I thought I had it set up to where I wanted it for the snow, and it
Right.
turns out I basically had my suspension fully locked like I was on pavement,
Oh, okay.
dry pavement for the entire event. um, and we fared okay. We crashed several times, like in straight lines, which should have been a pretty obvious indication that something wasn't quite right with the car.
Yeah.
And I was pretty nervous the whole event, just thinking to myself, this doesn't feel right. I feel really unstable. I don't think I can go any faster. And
Mm-hmm.
then again, about a month later, it's like, oh, like this would definitely be the problem. So it's been a year so far. I think Boone was the first event that we got to where it's like the car is actually okay at this point. It's functioning correctly. Now we can go full speed, but
Mm-hmm.
Snowdrift is just a different animal. That rally, it is unbelievably fun, but it's really scary. I think we got to about 95 miles an hour
Oh,
on one
wow.
section in the snow. Um, but it's just this wild event to go to because it's not like any of the other rallies. You can't have studs in
Right.
Michigan,
Right.
so you're running on
Yep.
regular snow tires. And it's just a surreal place to go to. Like seeing those conditions out there, the roads are just really fun, kind of swoopy. They probably wouldn't even be fun if they were just regular gravel, but in the snow, they just have this flow to them. And then you get yourself to Bonfire Alley at the end,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
like your driving motivation for that entire event is just to get the bonfire. And that stage is just so hard to describe. It's like you're driving through a war zone. You can feel the heat in the car from the fireballs as people are
Wow.
like igniting the bonfires on the side of the
Oh
road.
yeah, because
Um,
I guess as the car goes by, they'll dump like lighter fluid on it or something, right?
yeah, something. I'm not sure what they're dumping on there, but they blow them up, and there could be like honestly, it feels like 150 fires burning on the side of the road
Wow,
down this like 1.5 mile stretch of the road or something. And it's
that's
just
crazy.
explosion after explosion after explosion. There's lasers, and somebody had a flamethrower this year. He might have actually last year too, but I think there was two of them this time around.
Oh wow.
Um, and you just come into this corner and you're like, everything's normal. It's not that big of a deal. And then all of a sudden there's a flamethrower shooting over the road. Um, it's like Mad Max. Snowdrift is a very interesting event.
I definitely have to make it out to that next year.
Oh, highly recommend. Just bring warm clothing. It is cold up there, but it's so worth it.
Oh yeah. So with those three rallies, it sounds like you've got your suspension dialed in, and you're heading to LSPR next. Uh,
Hmm.
have you been to LSPR before?
I have not. This will be my
Okay.
first time up there.
Okay, because I was curious to know what the roads were like and maybe the conditions. But I hear it's
Yeah,
beautiful this time of year, or that time of
exactly.
year, with the foliage and everything. So
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to go. I like to get to these rallies just to see them and things. And this year too, they're saying that they're going to be running some of the roads that they used to run when it was a WRC event,
yeah,
which caught my attention immediately. I'm like, that would just be cool to have gotten to race on the roads that were used by the WRC. And it's just beautiful. The pictures that you see up there every year,
right.
the photos of the cars on the track and everything are just amazing. So this is one I might not go back. I'm not sure, but I want to at least try it once in my racing career.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, back in the day, there were a lot of crazy stories. I think of LSPR and
Hmm.
cars being chased by the police
Yeah.
at very high speeds through the town and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
fun.
It should be a good time. And everybody that goes up to that event, they say that what I've heard from my friends that have done it, they do a very good job of making it feel like it is the last event of the year too, because it is the last national event on the calendar
Right.
for the North American Championship.
Hmm.
And everybody says they just do a good job of making you feel like this is the conclusion of the year. So I'm sure it'll be a good time. That means there's good organizers up there, and I really
Hmm.
love to see that.
Yeah, sounds like a very special rally.
Yeah.
So good. So what does your off season look like? Pretty much, you think you're gonna be doing a lot of work to the car, or are you building another car, or what's your plans for the off season?
No, my off season honestly is probably just going to be getting the car back into shape again. It'll be short because I'm probably going to go back to Snowdrift again next year.
Hmm.
So we'll have 4 months there to get the car reprepped.
Right.
Um, I would love at some point to do something with the car to make it more powerful. I'm definitely feeling now at a disadvantage because I just don't have the power. When I've ridden in other people's NA four-wheel drive cars like mine,
Yeah.
it's just a different, they pull so much better. Um, and I knew going into this, my car is very heavy for NA
Mm.
four-wheel drive. I think we can be 2,700 pounds or something like that. And my
Okay.
car is like 30 or 3,050, like somewhere in that range right now.
Oh,
So we
okay.
have a lot of weight to it. A bigger engine would certainly do me good, but
Yeah.
that's a whole thing, getting a different drivetrain in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll probably hold off this year. Maybe at some point down the road, try to put a six-cylinder in there and see if I can bring the pace up. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep focusing on improving notes, improving my line choice. I think there's still more that can be done there,
Yeah.
and just managing pace. That's going to be my main focus. Is just again self-driver improvements. I think are key
Yeah.
here.
Gotcha. So what one aspect of your car, the big aspect of your car, is the wing.
Yeah.
And it everybody comments about how big the wing is. So how did you come up with the wing, and did you build it yourself?
Yeah. So the wing. The wing was a wild project. Before STPR of last year, before 2024,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to do the jump at STPR, which is absolutely huge,
Yeah.
flat out. But the problem was my wagon, without something to push down on the back of the car, it nosedives really, really hard. And I've seen
Okay.
pictures. I think Nathan Usher, who
Yeah.
runs the Sneak Attack website and things, I think he had a picture of his car like nearly end over end on that jump.
Oh yeah.
And we had a similar experience, not quite as high as he went. He went over further than us, but we just landed right on the nose. So about 2 weeks before that race, there's a theme emerging here. I do everything 2 weeks before a race like an idiot.
Here you go.
I was looking at Ryan Rethy's car out in the middle of the U.S. I think he's out towards Missouri or something, out in the center of the country. He had made a really beautiful 3D printed wing for his wagon.
Oh wow.
And posted a ton of pictures about how he had done it and fiberglassed it and things. So I reached out to him, and just kind of asked for his advice and stuff like that. And he's way further along as far as aerodynamics and things are concerned, like actually thinking through this. My version of making that wing, so again, totally taking this idea from Ryan. I basically took like some of his pictures, like a side profile of his wing, and then printed that out on paper, and then hand carved out of a piece of floor foam the shape of the actual airfoil itself, which was fun because Ryan saw what I was doing. I made my own saw blades and things to get the shape to be what I needed it to be.
Oh, okay.
And I remember this one message from Ryan specifically. He's like, "Man, if you plan on hand carving that out of that piece of foam, you are a ridiculous man," or something to that effect. And it was 2 weeks of just every moment that I was not working.
Yeah.
Carving this thing and getting it fiberglassed and getting it prepped and then getting it secretly too. No one knew that this was going on besides like Chris Nonak. And then just showed up at STPR with this giant wing, and people are like, "Where did this come from?" It was like, this is literally just to jump this car. And it worked absolutely perfectly. Like, we were a perfectly flat jump. And basically every other jump we've done since then has been, like, we even had Travis Pastrana at Overmountain last year, like specifically as we were leaving this super special where we all had done this double jump in the middle of their the racetrack there.
Right.
He pointed at us and he's like, "That was an excellent show," like straight in our car as we were driving past him.
That's awesome.
Because we hit the jump flat out as fast as our fat little car would go, and landed perfectly flat and smooth. So yeah, the wing is a wild concoction of just a crazy idea. It is just within the rules, like within half an inch of being too high. Like, you need to be 3 inches or lower than the highest point on the roof and things. I was back and forth with the ARA to make sure it was legal, and met all the requirements, and then this mad dash of 2 weeks, and there it is. We repainted it after STPR, but otherwise it's remained untouched since then.
Yeah, it's really something else. It stands out, but it's perfect engineering then. You did a fantastic job if it does the job and does it very well. So
I would give Ryan the credit for the engineering aspects of it. I'd say my end is more like I was an artist and got lucky that it didn't just fall apart on the first jump.
Well, you executed it properly. I should say that.
There you go. I would say I would love to pretend that I actually engineered the thing, but really it was more like, this will probably work, and then threw it together.
well, yeah, you engineered the different method of constructing it.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
I can't imagine how much it would have cost Ryan to 3D print it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but he did. His looks so perfect. Like, it looks like it's store-bought because it's so smooth and well-finished and things.
Wow.
But I just didn't have the time. In 2 weeks, it was like I would need to... I don't have a 3D printer. I would need to find one, print all these pieces out, glue them together and everything that he had gone through. I was like, the one thing I can do without anyone else's help is buy this foam board and carve it out in my garage. So I went for that option because it would be faster.
Kind of like carving a surfboard then, covering it with fiberglass.
exact same technique. The
Yeah.
important part to remember, though, is in case anybody listening to this tries to do it on their own, you gotta put tape on the foam before you fiberglass it, because the fiberglass, the like polyester resin will just eat the foam and destroy it.
Oh, right.
So I
Okay.
wrapped the whole thing in like clear plastic packaging tape and then glassed over that so that it held up.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Perfect.
Yeah. Life lessons. Try it before you actually put it on the real thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it on a piece of foam and it was like, oh no, it like cut it down to half the width of it. Like it really destroyed that foam.
Kind of like hitting foam packaging with a spray can.
Mm-hmm.
Eat right through it.
Totally.
So.
Totally. Yep.
Well, cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you do LSPR.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Looking forward to how things will turn out for you next year as well. So after the season, maybe we can have you back on and we can, after LSPR, and see how things went and follow up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Thanks again for taking some time out of your afternoon and chatting and talking about the War Weasel. It is definitely a fan favorite, and so
yeah,
the kids love it.
I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love the reaction we get from little kids, and just driving by and we can nail that awooga horn, and not a single person can avoid smiling when we come by with that silly car.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. Just getting the fans something to be excited about and trying to put on a show for everybody. So yeah.
Well, what was funny was when I was driving, and then I recognized your car from, even though you didn't have the wing on it, I recognized it, and so I tried to speed up and get caught up to you, and I tried to keep up with you. And my wife is like, are you just driving faster to see if you can see how long you can keep up with them? I said, yeah, I guess I am.
Wasn't going that fast.
No, you weren't
doing
too
like
bad.
75 maybe.
Yeah, but she's
everybody
like,
tells me I drive really fast on the highway.
Yeah, she's like, you're not racing him, so why don't you slow down a little? So
nice.
Well, thanks again, and hopefully we can chat soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jim.
Yep. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, you do the same.
All right. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. See ya.
If you'd like to be on the podcast, you can email me, jim@jimboothdesigns.com, or message me through Facebook at Rallying in America, the Recce Podcast, or Instagram, rallying_in_America. Special thanks to Brady Instruments, pro-grade, handmade, professional fuel hydrometers. Visit bradyinstruments.com for all of your fuel testing needs. Thanks to Toontank and the artist Nuclear Wave for the podcast theme music.